Good afternoon and welcome back to the shop. I'm Model T, Paul Shinn, my hubby. He's going to answer a bunch of questions for you.
Yes.
And we have a lot of them.
We have a lot of questions.
They kind of compiled. And so I'm trying to get through them and get to as many of you as we can. But as many as there are, we're going to definitely have a part 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's freezing cold out here, so.
Yeah, it is freezing.
It's super cold in the shop.
So windy.
Yeah, it's blowing like, what is it, 50 or 60 mile per hour outside right now?
At least 50, 60 miles.
It's cranking out there.
It was pouring all day. It finally gave us a tiny break from that, but it's still blowing like stink. Yeah. So if you hear a bunch of creaking and cranking and weird noises up there, that's what it is. It's
Mother Nature trying to tear the shop apart.
Yeah. But we're both bundled up and ready to answer some questions.
My gloves, darn it. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. You want to get gloves first?
That's all right. No, go ahead.
Oh, fudge.
That's all right. I'm just going to sit on my hands.
Oh my gosh. He's resorted to sitting on his hands. Believe me, he's not in detention. He's just trying to keep his hands warm.
Yes.
Let's see.
I'm wearing a blanket for a jacket. I love this jacket. This is for the ham radio people out there, this is a Summits on the Air jacket. Soda. Nice. The ham radio people know what soda means.
So cool. All right, you ready to get in hot?
Let's go. Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing that's going to be hot. Okay, this comes from a young man named Paul also.
Hi, young man named Paul also.
He lives in the big island of Hawaii.
Nice.
He has a 31 coupe.
Okay.
He got it on eBay. He said not to laugh at him, but it's the only way he could get one because they're like way out there. But we're not going to laugh at him.
Not laughing. That's cool.
Anyways, there is a problem. He has a 1/4-inch size hole that is rusted through in the back of the block, just above where the flywheel housing bolts on. Have you any experience with such a thing? Is it fixable? Should I just invest in a Burt's blocks? Thank you for listening. I'll post a picture of here so you can, I'm over there so it's not over his face.
Yeah.
Over here. That way you can see what we're talking about. And what did you come to a conclusion since I showed you the picture?
Well, I've seen that before. The good news is with a Ford Model A in its stock form, the water jacket is not under pressure. So we've been very successful with patching out, grind the area out real good, use the Dremel, get in the hole and everything, and then patch it using some JB Weld and then let it rip. Oh. That'll last for many, many years, and then you'll have to do it again, but it'll be a long ways from now.
Long ways, you'll be able to get lots of years of enjoyment at first.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nice.
And say hi to Ryan.
Yeah, if you don't know Ryan, find him.
Find Ryan Takayushi.
Yeah, he's
Actually,
awesome.
the camera is sitting on Ryan's car right now.
Poor Ryan, he's like, gimme.
He wants the car. We got to finish this car.
Yeah, we got to finish it.
Yeah. Right now, it's serving as my hot chocolate holder.
Glasses holder.
Magazine holder.
Dust holder.
It's holding lots of dust. Go ahead.
Okay, next.
Let's move.
This is BD Inc., maybe? I don't know if that's how it's
BD
Inc. You guys were talking about some different stuff, and so they replied to you saying, great information. I was hoping this was my problem, but I took my front hubs apart and reseated the bearings as you show, but I still have horrible wobble.
Oh, okay.
Most notable when I'm slowing down to about 10 miles per hour.
Okay.
Reseating the bearings had no effect. I've replaced the tie rod and the ends. The tie rod was bent.
Ugh.
Doesn't seem like any play in the kingpins. Steering
that was my next guess. Okay.
Yeah, steering is a F10. Or no, not F10. I'm sorry.
Probably
F100.
Okay.
And there is
play?
virtually no play.
Okay.
I'm a bit stumped. So
that's easy. That narrows it down to it. That's all that's left. So the wishbone with those two things under the car where they come together, then there's that ball at the end and it goes on to where the clutch housing is. That right there needs to be really tight. Sometimes if those get loosened up, they wear, or that ball isn't round anymore and it starts to become more like a flying saucer shape or whatever. So there's a couple fixes. Obviously the right fix is to fix the ball back up. So build the ball back up with weld or whatever, grind it back down. Some people cut them off, weld one on. I'm not a fan of that. The farmer fix, we call it, which is a quick fix, but it'll keep you back on the road, is to get the rubber ball thing. Burt's and all the catalogs sell them. Hang on, I'll just give you the part number. I have a Burt's catalog right here.
Sweet. You came prepared.
I did, yeah. So. Well, because I know that the last time and time before, it's like you'll ask me questions. It's like, oh man, if I could just tell them the exact part number if I had the catalog. Radius cap rubber ball only is part number A-3446 in the Burt's catalog. I don't know where the whole kit is, but if you call Steve, I'm sure he'll send you the whole kit if you ask. It's 1-800-321-1931.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll
So
put that on
that
the screen also,
should
and
tighten
also in
it
the
up.
link.
Yeah. Once you get that tightened up, shouldn't have death wobble. I mean, the only other thing, and it'd be a very remote possibility, is if your front brake drums are not round, if they need to be turned maybe. So they're kind of grabby. If they get grabby and exactly opposite of each other, it'll do this. But that's pretty remote. So anyway, that should get you going again. Let us know what happens.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see if that causes it to get in the right direction.
Yeah.
All right, Billy. Hey.
Hi, Billy.
This is when they were commenting for the video where I was driving the mail truck.
Oh, yeah.
So they're saying, good girl Tina saw Paul's Model A on videos. I have a Model A horn to repair. Would you be interested in looking at it for me? I live in Ireland. Thanks, Billy.
Oh.
Well, that's a little
Wish
tough.
I could, yeah. No, I can't. I don't have time.
But will you be making a video on the horns? I got suddenly like a lot of questions about horns.
I
and repairing
will.
them.
I plan on it. I've got some horns here I need to rebuild. The problem is, like, I can rebuild a horn in probably 4 hours completely. But if I make a video about it, it's going to take 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Making a video about something takes, well, you got to set up the shot, get the light. Okay, now here's what I'm doing, and you turn the screw. Okay, now let's set up the next shot where I'm doing, you know what I mean? It just takes forever.
Yeah, if you want to do
So
it right, that is.
what
right?
happens is I'll have 2 or 3. I don't have much time. I'm like, oh, heck with it. I'm not doing a video. I'll just blow through them and do it. So it kind of has to be when I don't have a lot of stuff going on like I do right now. Busy time of work right now. Yeah. But anyway, you can have your horns rebuilt. Like Burt's offers that service. I think Bratton's does too.
Oh.
So you can have a horn rebuilt.
So you can just send it to them, they'll fix it, and then they'll send it back.
Rebuild. In fact, here, I have the Burt's catalog
Very
right
cool.
here. Let me look.
I did not realize those services were available.
They are, yeah. Nice. But they do lots of different rebuilds, like a generator rebuild, starter rebuild. You send them your old one, they send you a rebuilt one, you know. So, yeah.
That's very cool.
Horn, 73 to 75. I don't know. I mean, the price is probably different from when this was printed, but
yeah, but you hate to like go and buy one when you already have one. But
yeah, if you can have your horn, you know, rebuilt, if you don't feel like tackling it yourself. Yeah, because like a new reproduction Spartan is $280 according to his catalog. It's like
only if you have to, right? If you just can't find a horn,
right?
Then that would be a good alternative. So you could have the Auga, but if you have a horn and it's original, especially, man, get it fixed.
Well, I don't see the rebuild service in here. They don't have it listed in the catalog, but they do, and Bratton's does it too. So
okay,
yeah,
so we'll put the links down
last
below.
I looked, Bratton's does.
All right, here we go. Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Woo! Wow. When we drew, it was still, again, it's the mail truck thing.
The mail truck,
and
okay.
you were sitting there, you know, video recording me driving.
Oh, yeah.
So she says, what were you sitting on as a passenger? Our mail truck had no passenger seat.
Yeah, ours doesn't have a passenger seat either. We have a stool that just sits there.
So it didn't come
It's
with
not
it.
attached or anything. Okay. Like if you hit the brakes, I'm out the door.
See, now I didn't know if it came with it or if it was just added in there.
No, we just set that in there just so.
Sure.
So remember when we first got the mail truck, and I mean we were jamming to get it ready for concours. Mm-hmm. It was 6 months of just hitting it like every day, you know.
Yeah.
So Bob was going to drive it across the concours stage, and he wanted either me if I was there, but since I wasn't, he was thinking have his grandkid ride with him. Because it's a momentous occasion, you know, going across a concours stage.
Did, and it was awesome.
So that's just a little stool that kind of looks like the seat, kind of. It was close enough, and it's about the right height, so we stuck it in there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But it's not safe
Not
at
safe.
all. No.
No.
So what I was doing was not safe, technically.
Okay, Rodney.
Hi, Rodney.
Hey. He says, I enjoy watching your videos. I just currently found a barn find, a 1931 Model A pickup, and I was wondering if you had any suggestions on companies to order various parts from. I have found C.W. Moss. I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm trying to get order catalogs.
Okay, well,
List
number
them
one.
alphabetically.
Yeah. Oh,
Say your ABCs.
alphabetically, I know them as Bert's, Bratton's. I can't say Max anymore because they're out of it. Mike's Affordable, Snyder's. I know I'm missing one. Oh, Arizona Model A, CW Moss. You got them. I don't know. There's probably some others.
Yeah.
But
that's quite a
Snyder's
few.
has a great catalog. Don Snyder puts out a really good catalog. Bratton's puts out a good catalog too.
Okay, awesome. That should get you going there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Good job. All right, Don.
Hi, Don.
No, I'm sorry, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, are you planning on a video on installing seat belts in a Model A?
Well, Ron, your name is Don now, but the answer is yes. We are.
Yeah?
In fact, I've got that coming up. We have a very special car we haven't talked about that's going to be coming here in probably a couple, 2-3 months.
Okay.
And that is the one I wanted to do the seatbelt installation on because it's a special car and it'll just mean more doing seatbelts in that car. So
Okay.
Yeah.
It's coming soon.
it is coming soon. I have done seatbelts, kind of touched on it on the Operation Hooptie because remember we put seatbelts in that.
Gotcha. So look up if you go into Paul's.
Yeah, but I didn't like specifically do seatbelts. So you got to scroll through the videos. I don't even remember which one it is.
Oh, well, it's a fun one. So if you feel like you got nothing to do,
Yeah.
look up on his
the
YouTube
Operation
channel.
Hooptie, yeah, that coupe.
Operation Hooptie under the.
Putting seatbelts in a coupe and a pickup are almost the same.
Yeah.
Almost exactly, yeah.
All right, David
Hi, David.
says, saw your video on Model A for Vice Grip Garage. My question is, are you related to Robert A. Shinn, U.S. Navy retired?
Maybe. I don't know.
We
I've
don't
got
know.
relatives all over the place. And
Yeah,
I've not met most of them.
yeah,
But-
true. Yeah, so who knows?
I don't know. Probably.
Maybe.
It's not all that common of a name. So
Yeah, that's true.
maybe.
right.
If he's really nice, then yes. If he's a jerk, no.
Okay, Ralph.
Hi, Ralph.
He says, I'm thinking of purchasing a Model A. What would be some key factors I should be looking for before a purchasing?
I did a whole video
Did
about
a
that.
whole video.
How
and
to
we're gonna
purchase a
link it
Ford
right there.
Model A, right there.
Yep.
Number one thing, make sure it has a clean title. If it doesn't have a clean title, or if it has no title at all, you're going to have to jump through some hoops. That's not impossible, but you're going to have to jump through a lot of hoops and you might have some heartache. So, clean title.
Clean tile.
I'd start there.
Okay.
Otherwise, know a really good car guy
Yeah.
who's used to doing that stuff
All right.
in your state.
All right, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
He says, hi, Paul and Tina. I have recently bought a 1930 Model A and I am having engine problems.
Oh.
Is it possible the cam could jump time?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right.
The cam can jump time. The other thing is it could be the distributor drive that can jump time too. Remember Bob's black car with the red wheels that he had? And we would time that thing and it would run great. And then like the next tour, it would break down in the middle of the tour, tow it home. And we'd retime it and it would run great. And then the next tour would break down after get to it. Remember that? We went through
That
that.
sounds familiar. It's been a long while
So
back,
finally,
right?
we're all mad. We're like, oh, hell no. We're like tearing that thing apart. We're like, we're going to find out what's wrong with that stupid car. We ended up pulling out the drive. So there's the cam where it comes back. The cam is driven off of the timing gear. Okay, that's driven off the crankshaft. But the cam drives the drive that drives the distributor. It goes upward, drives the distributor. Downward, drives the oil pump. That gear right there, that was almost completely rusted out. There was almost no teeth left.
Oh, wow.
So once in a while, it would just jump a tooth, and then the car wouldn't run. So that's what it was, come to find out. So we replaced that. Thing ran perfect after that.
Okay. It'd be
So
interesting
there's
to see something
possibilities,
like
but yes, a cam can jump timing. Yeah, it can happen.
that. Okay. Well, good luck with that, and congratulations on the A.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Probably going to be changing the timing gear is my guess.
Okay. Bud.
Hi, Bud.
Hey, Bud. He says, my 1930 has a rear seal leak. Surprise. Do you
Okay,
recommend...
so?
Do you recommend...
We're joking.
I know, yeah. Do you recommend those sealant products like Bars Leak, Blue Devil, etc.? Pulling out an engine is way beyond my wheelhouse.
Do I hate your car, though?
Okay.
Don't use those products. Those, on a Model A, keep in mind there's no pressure. It's not a pressurized oil system. So it's depending on gravity and splash. Particularly like the main bearings in the engine, there's passages that come from the valve galley. There's just drilled passages where oil has to drip down those into the main bearings for the crankshaft. And you start putting those seal leak products in there, that little dinky hole gets sealed shut. See?
It's so hot.
It's burning hot.
It's like lava.
I told you. The floor is not lava, your beverage is. So you don't want to use those products in a Model A motor at all, ever. If somebody does, then slap them. Don't be violent, but in a manly way. So, go Will Smith on them, because that is absolutely the worst thing you can do to a Model A motor. So a rear main leak is not the end of the world, by the way. Remember John and Judy had that engine in their pickup that had that rear main leak. They drove it to Washington and back. I mean, it started leaking just after they left home, and they weren't going to cancel the trip to Puyallup for the National. So they went through like 2.5 cases of oil, but they made it and back. I mean, a Model A will just keep going. Look what happened to Derek on his car. So, I mean, he went through a bunch of oil and stuff on that too. Model A's will just keep on going even though the rear leaks. So my suggestion, not advice, suggestion is drive it. And if the rear leak gets so bad that like gas stations won't even let you pull in to fill up anymore because you leave too big of an oil spot, then it's time to pull the motor. But by then you probably have some experience, get hooked up with a club.
Yeah.
Somebody in that club knows how to pull an engine in like 2 hours or less. So it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, clubs are pretty dang good.
It's helpful.
They got so much experience and
There's
everything else.
always somebody or 2 or 3 or 4 in that club that really know their stuff.
All right. Hopefully that helps.
Just drive it, dude, and get you a pan for the floor.
Yeah. All right, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. That
Says-
sounds like bad advice, but that is really the best advice.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
They're-
Go ahead.
It's different.
Yeah,
They're just different
they're
vehicles.
different.
Different
They're
time.
different. It is.
Yeah.
So, hi, Jerry.
I am a subscriber and have been watching and enjoying your videos for several months. I have 3 Model A's and saw your alternator conversion and would like to do it. The salvage yard has requested a make and model of the car that the accelerator would be from in order to check their inventory for me. Could you help?
The alternator, you mean? You just want a regular GM one-wire alternator. If the yard does not know what that means, they're probably under the age of 30 and or don't know anything about cars. So a one-wire GM alternator, it's a real standard alternator all through the 60s, 70s. It's super standard. It's every junkyard's got a pile of them.
Yeah. And too, the is it flea markets or
Yeah, when
swap
we go to the
meets?
swap meets and stuff,
Yeah.
we see people selling.
There's tons of
There's
them.
tons
everywhere.
of them, and we can buy them for $5 a piece all day long.
Because
So
they can't really use them for
They're
a whole lot
everywhere.
of things, so they're just like, okay,
yeah,
$5.
GM one-wire alternator. I bet you can go to your local O'Reilly's or Pep Boys or whatever you have near you and ask them if they have any GM one-wire alternator cores that they want to sell or get rid of. Because people bring them in, when they get a new one or rebuilt or whatever, and you just get the core. That'd probably get you going. And the part that's dead is probably the part you're going to replace anyway.
Okay, hope that helps. All right, Marlene.
Hi, Marlene.
Oh, how can I start my 1930 Model A from under the hood?
I just push on the starter rod.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go turn the key on. Assuming you have a stock pop-out switch, you have to pop the switch out. There's no like bypass for that. But you pop the ignition switch out, push the timing lever up, pull the throttle down a little bit, open the hood, push on the starter rod. Piece of cake.
Nice. All right, that doesn't sound too hard.
No, it's super easy.
I like it. All right, good luck with that. Let us know if you have any other questions. All right, Ford Cummins.
Hi, Ford Cummins.
Cummins?
Cummins?
Maybe it's Cummins.
Maybe it's Cummins.
Okay, so he says, my name is Jason.
Oh, hi,
That's
Jason.
his name. Hi, Jason.
That's better.
I very much appreciate your channel and all I have learned. My father passed away in 2018. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Sorry about that.
Leaving me multiple Model A cars in various stages.
Oh, happy about that.
Yeah, that's a great thing that he left it to you to carry
That
on.
is.
Carry on.
Keep it in the family.
It's awesome. I have had multiple people try to purchase these cars from me without success.
People try to buy my cars all the time, too.
All the time.
Yeah.
Okay, I keep wanting to say 19. In 2020, my son was born, and I have shown him all his grandpa's cars. I pulled one out this weekend and washed it for the first time since 2010. I vacuumed it out and the car is in good shape so far. I need some help. I don't know how much about these cars, or I don't know much about these cars, and when my mother saw the car yesterday cleaned up, it put a smile on her face. My parents used to tour in this car, so the goal is getting the car running so my mother, son, and I can enjoy it.
Nice.
I would greatly appreciate it if you would send me an email but you would be getting it. I'm not going to show them. So we could discuss the next steps in getting the cars back on the road. I want to teach my son all about his grandpa and these cars. I hope to receive a mail soon.
What you need is a club.
Yes, a club.
This is exactly what a club does.
Yes. And all the different Model A videos that you've made goes through so many different things about getting a car in
he needs somebody to hold his hand with the car
so
to walk
Model
him
A
through
Club's
it.
going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, you absolutely need to get in touch with the club. Go to mafka.com. I don't know, you can put it here.
Yeah, mafka.com.
Mafka.com, and on the Mafka website, there's a locate clubs near me or something like that.
Yeah.
And click on that, and it shows the U.S., continental U.S., and click on your state and look through it, and there will be a Model A club somewhere not too far from you. And if you're on the East Coast, Model A Restorers Club, or MAERC. I don't know if they have the same thing on their website or not, but Model A Ford Club of America is your resource for that, I think. Get a club, get hooked up. Don't even talk about what cars you have or don't have. You showing up, a younger person showing up to a Model A club, you're going to be a rock star just walking in there. Yeah. Oh man, people are going to bend over backwards to help you. Trust me.
Yeah, we want younger people getting into this hobby to carry on these for generations to come.
Yes, these stops will all be removed for you, my friend.
And unfortunately, he works way too much, does videos, editing. All his life is so busy, he just doesn't have time to get a hold of people and talk like we'd really like to. So that's what these videos are for. We can tag a bunch of people at the same time and try to help.
Yeah, that's the only way to really do it. I mean, I still have a full-time job and a part-time job, and
it's a lot. So hopefully all that information helps.
Get a club, dude.
Get a club.
You'd be surprised how fast those people are going to become your family. I'm telling you. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Says he likes the videos. I just watched one on your two-door. I thought the back side window, no, two-door.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. That's what's
behind us.
I'm so used to the
coupe being
sports
here.
coupe being there.
No, the sport coupe got repossessed.
Yeah, the warranty ran out.
Yeah.
So anyways, sorry. They said, I thought the back side window rolled all the way down. I also have a 31 two-door, and the windows roll down all the way.
Okay.
What am I missing?
You have shorter windows than I do. So ours go down to, I'll show you. I mean, I'm standing right here. Car's right here, might as well. So ours go down to right there. Okay, so.
Can you point at it? It's hard to tell on the screen, I think.
There's this much left.
Oh, okay, that's hardly anything.
Okay, but these are cut to the exact original size.
Oh.
Okay, so these are all safety glass all the way around. But these are cut to the exact, so what people do, because there's this much extra glass underneath, so what people started doing is cutting the two-door windows down a little shorter. Oh, so they go down all the way. They don't, see, but these are cut to, because this car when it was first built was built to blue ribbon standards, so I don't know if that's why they did it or not, but anyway, so that's why. So most reproduction window glass, they're cut a tiny bit shorter, and yeah, they roll down. Well, not necessarily like recess, but at least flush.
Yeah.
And that's as far down as mine go.
Okay.
I don't know if you can even see that.
Interesting.
Does it show up?
It's hard to tell. Maybe once we're looking
right here.
at it.
It's right here.
We'll be able to tell. Hard to tell from here when we're looking at a screen. All right, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hey. He says he's from Groton, Connecticut.
Okay.
CT is Connecticut, right?
That's Connecticut.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. Says he.
Well, where I come from, it's center tap, because I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
So.
A question for you about my 1930 standard coupe.
Okay.
When I filled my steering box with oil, I found a huge puddle of all the oil on the floor the next time I was in the garage.
To use Jay McCord's phrase, it's woe out.
It's wow.
Whoa out.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, do I need to replace the drain plug? Or
There's no drain
does
plug
this,
on the steering block.
Oh, or does the steering column need to come out and get rebuilt?
It's time to rebuild the box, for sure. So where the sector shaft goes through the housing, if it's stock, there's brass bushings in there, and the bushings are probably worn. So oil just goes right on out. Oh, that's why a lot of people replace those with the needle bearings with the rubber seals and stuff, which is what I like to do. It's up to you. You can order those, actually. You could just replace the sector housing. Assuming the sector shaft itself is not worn out, you could replace just the sector housing already bushed. Burt's, Bratton's, Snyder's, they sell the sector housing. In fact, you can buy the ones that are modified already with the needle bearings and the rubber seals already. So try that. You don't have to remove the steering column to do that. You do have to unbolt the steering box from the frame. Okay, so loosen it up where it attaches to the fuel tank so you don't break that bracket off. Pull the battery, or the connection off the battery, because you're going to have to play with the electrical, okay? So unbolt the steering box. You can unbolt that sector shaft once you get the steering box far. You might have to remove the starter. I can't remember. On a 31, I did one time. I think I had to pull the starter, but I don't remember why. But anyway, once you get the steering box unbolted from the chassis, then you'll see there's just a couple bolts. You can pull that sector housing off. Slide a new one on there, see how good it fits on your sector shaft. If it's nice and tight, you're done. Put it back together, boom, it shouldn't leak. But if it's a little loose at all, then you'll probably have to change the sector shaft too.
Okay, he also says my throttle lever sticks too, so maybe taking the column out and addressing both issues is the best bet.
Well, the throttle the lever is a separate issue. Sorry, I'm just trying to rush because I know we have so many.
No, it's okay. He's just saying you wanted an opinion for somebody who knows what they're doing, basically.
Okay. Yeah, well, the throttle lever is a separate issue if that's sticky. So have you been lubricating it? You have to lubricate the bushing at the top of the steering shaft, and you also have to lubricate it down below where it comes out the column. And if it has not been lubed, maybe that's all you need to do.
That would be so nice if it's that simple.
But if it's really hanging up, find out if it's the shaft or if it's the linkage. If it's really the shaft hanging up, you might have to pull it out. And you don't have to pull the column to do that. You can leave the column in the car.
Nice.
The horn rod, you have to pull the column out if it's a pickup or a coupe. But even as a pickup or a coupe, if it's just the rod, the throttle rod, you don't have to pull the column for that.
Okay, awesome. All right, let us know if you have any more questions. Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey. He says, do you sell the I Am the Warranty shirt still, basically?
Yes and no. Yes, we do. But I'm working on getting a different manufacturer. So we'll have that set up pretty soon, though.
I'll put a link in the link down below where you can go get one if you would really like one right now, because they're
on Amazon.
Still offered on Amazon.
Yeah, they're still on Amazon.
I'll put that link to it.
The ones on Amazon, the quality's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but they're pretty good. Yeah.
He just expects better.
I expected better.
And so he's looking at a company right now that we feel is better.
Gopherware.com has never steered us wrong, so that's where we're going to probably go.
Yeah. All right, Gary. Hey, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Is it still lava hot?
Yes.
Oh, no. My taste
my
buds.
throat.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Ooh.
My taste buds are still burning right now from that drink I took earlier. Oh, my Lord. These keep the stuff a little too hot too long. Okay.
Go.
So, Gary, yes.
Hi, Gary.
Hello.
I'll remember Gary for a long time now.
Yeah. He says, what did you do to modify the headlight sockets so they wouldn't short out?
Oh, I didn't really modify the socket so much as the pin. Where the wires have pins on the ends of them, the little gold-plated pins. Those go through the plastic piece that has the 2 or 3 holes in it, okay? Well, they just kind of sit in there, and then that whole thing fits into the socket. Well, the problem is if those jiggle a little loose or whatever, they'll short against the socket. So what I do is I use heat shrink tubing. So there's different kinds of heat shrink tubing for electrical use. So some of it is very thick wall, some of it's very thin. So the stuff like audiophile stuff, you'd find it has very thin wall. I use that, and then I put a piece of heat shrink over the ends of each of the wires. So even if those little pins start to come out of the plastic, they won't touch anything metal. That's really all I do. Not much of a modification. It's just kind of enhancing,
Yeah.
not modifying. Yeah.
Just makes it better.
I'm extending the insulation to the end, pretty much.
Okay.
I don't know if that's helpful or not. Sorry.
Hopefully.
I hope it is.
Hopefully it helps.
One of these days I'll show it in a video, but
Yeah, that'd be good.
I just didn't. Well, the last time I did it on Gandalf, I was just in a hurry to get the
Yeah,
stuff
it's always
done.
in a hurry.
I didn't want to take 2 days
Unfortunately.
filming it, and I could have took 2 minutes and just be done with it.
All right, Ted. Yay.
Hi, Ted.
All right, he says, oh, let's see, we'll get past some of this stuff. Also, have you considered putting together a list of recommended modifications for a driver Model A? Things like cast drums, alternator, seal, modification to shift rails, etc. You guys have mentioned so many things to improve reliability and drivability. I should have started writing it all down.
Well, first of all, a bone stock Model A drives just fine.
Yeah.
No kidding. They're a pleasure to drive. What happens is people start making little changes. Sometimes those changes beget other changes that beget other changes. So what we do, really, there's no drivability enhancements or anything, with the exception of a driver car, something you're going to drive a lot. I insist on turn signals, which means you have to have 2 taillights or add lights or something. I mean, if it's just a play around, you only drive it to go get ice cream in town once a month, maybe, or something, forget it. Who cares? But for something like we drive our cars a lot, except for the 4-door.
Reno, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, cross country, out of state and everything, turn signals. Other than that, I always say stock. People say, oh, you want the modern points. You want the, no, you don't. You want original stuff. That lasts longer, runs better.
What about Mitchell Overdrive? 'Cause that's not stock.
Well, that's not stock. That's a whole different thing. So that, if you're going to be touring a car and driving it and keeping up with modern traffic, that's where the Mitchell Overdrive
it comes in handy big time.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, especially even like where we live, and I'm sure there's places where other people live too, it's not safe to go 45, 50 miles an hour.
People want to run you
You will
down.
get run over.
Yeah.
And if we're going 45, 50 miles an hour, even though there are a long line of cars, now there's people backing up behind you, and then they start getting angry and impatient. Then they start doing dangerous things to get around you or prove a point or whatever. I mean, we've seen people just cross a double yellow right into oncoming traffic without regard. Like, I guess they just assume the oncoming traffic's going to swerve into the ditch and avoid them, I guess. I mean, just crazy stuff. So that's not safe either. So you're not just driving your car, you're driving all the cars around you. And you people that have driven Model A's for years and years know exactly what I'm talking about. You have to drive everyone else's car. So that's one of those things. Turn signals, Mitchell Overdrive, something you drive a lot every day kind of thing, and bright lights. The headlights, so that's why we run an alternator. 6-volt positive ground alternators in all my cars. Even the 4-door sedan. Yes, the holy grail 4-door sedan has a 6-volt positive ground alternator, because there are a couple times like we've gone out to the drive-in movie or something in that car and driven home when it's dark.
Yeah,
and
good lights.
I want lights. Yeah. I need to be seen. I don't want to die. Not yet.
Especially with those old glass windows.
Yeah, that has plate glass windows still. This has all safety glass, but the 4-door doesn't.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 big things.
Yeah.
Other than that, keep it stock, man. You'll be surprised how good a well-maintained stock Model A drives. It's a joy. It's a pure joy.
Yeah. All right. I hope that helps.
Boy, that was a long one. Sorry.
Richard.
Hi, Richard.
He says, original shocks. Having a hard time finding the correct oil to use for the original Model A shock. What would they do?
Hydraulic oil. I use jack oil in mine, which is a little bit thinner probably than what they came with, but they work fine. All my cars have original shocks. And although rebuilding shocks is the subject of an upcoming video, it's covered in a couple of the How to Restore a Ford Model A series that Mafka sells, the books. At least one of them, I think. And I think one of Les Andrews' books covers it. But there's so many different kinds of shock absorbers, though. So like the later ones that use the little check valve and, you know, a little BB ball inside a little tiny orifice. And I mean, there's so many different kinds. it's going to be impossible to cover all that. So for most of the shocks, I'm going to say hydraulic oil works just fine. I know some people that use automatic transmission fluid in them. You know, hey, whatever works for you. It's just got to be a thin hydraulic oil. You just want to keep the moisture out and have something semi-viscous in there. That's all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Robbie
Hi, Robbie.
says, where is the best place to get a carburetor rebuilt kit?
Carburetor rebuild kit. Do-it-yourselfer. I like that. Burt's, Bratton's, Mike's, Snyder's.
Okay.
Mike Snyder.
And I'm linking them all down there.
Link down in the
For
description
everybody who
below.
had questions about catalogs.
Or Sammy
and
Guthrie at
where
Arizona
to
Model A Parts.
buy stuff, I'll have all
Right.
the different names down there so you guys can find them easily.
Yep.
All right. John,
Hi, John.
hey, is there a video how to adjust the clutch while on the car?
Ha! Good thing you asked. I just recorded one. Yeah, it's coming up.
Nice.
As soon as it's done with post-production, it'll be
Hey,
an upcoming Saturday video.
very awesome. That was some good timing, right?
Yep.
All right, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Hey. Let's see, you guys must have been having some kind of conversation. He says, my question to you is how often do you replace brake pads on an antique vehicle that isn't used often?
Probably never.
Never?
Well, I replace them when they start to get worn. If your brake pads are down to, you know, like a millimeter or less of pad left, it's time to replace them.
So
Yeah.
you go more by size of what's left of
Yeah.
the millimeters.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do it once a year. I don't know. I mean, you probably don't have to if you don't drive it very often.
You
but
drive more often.
I drive a lot. But once a year, like the beginning of touring season, I pull the hubs, I repack the front wheel bearings and inspect the rear. And that's when you look at the brake pads and or the shoes and you go, oh, okay, I got a little left. Good to go. Or, you know, hey, what? These are getting a little thin and do I want to chance it?
Okay, so they don't like rot or anything like that with time of just sitting there.
Well, the woven ones can, but it's so crazy rare
All right.
that would happen. It would probably have to be sitting in mud clear up to the brakes to do that.
Oh, okay.
So, no,
All right.
probably
Well, that
not.
answers that question.
I mean, if the car stops good, you know,
yeah.
if it's working all right, just say goodnight.
All right, this young man's name is Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
And from what I can tell by the pictures, he does look like a very young man.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Good for you,
to
man.
see him into vehicles like this. And I think you were having some kind of conversation, but I can't remember. Anyways,
Well,
he's
I'm a nice
saying
guy. I talk to people.
he bought a 1929 two-door sedan that have ran into little issues. The switch on the wheel for the headlights is loose. When turning the car, the light flicker and go off. I'm doing
Keep going. I'm going to look up the part while you're doing that.
Okay, I'm doing research on how to, for say, tightening it or repair it, because it seems I only have a bright setting and no dim setting.
Okay.
That is if the lights will even stay on. As of now, the car cannot be driven without lights. Got any info
Cannot be driven without
on a
lights.
fix?
Does he drive at night?
It's possible. Let's see.
Okay. Now, here's the part he needs.
Yeah?
He needs the horn/light switch spider.
Spider.
Okay, it is part number A-3643.
Okay.
Got it? A-4643. That is held in place by a spring that pushes against it, which is A-3642, and a retainer clip, which is A-3644.
Nice.
That's what you need, buddy.
Would you like to know what you said to him?
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
then
What
it
did I
continues.
say? What did I
and
say?
I'll show you his cute car up here. I love
Okay.
it. You told him, congratulations, looks like a fine car. Loose light switch means something in the light switch at the bottom of the steering column is amiss. Could just need to be cleaned and installed properly. Could be worn out, switch wafer, or anything in between. Disconnect the battery or pull the fuse if it has one and pop that off and have a look.
Yeah.
And it says, looks pretty clean and relatively new, but
Relatively,
seems,
okay.
oh, thank you. Seems the horn wishes to honk when the light
Oh,
switch
wait a
is
minute. Let me
removed
guess. The
and
tab broke off,
a
right?
spark or two.
Uh-huh.
He
Tab
said,
broke
then
off.
he says, so seems I have found the culprit to my Strange electrical issue. A prong is broken on the bottom of this steering box.
What'd I tell you?
But it doesn't seem I can find anything on how to disassemble the bottom.
Oh, okay. You just
broke.
take the retainer off and...
Yeah, so hold on. Let me just read the last. And then he's got some little pictures that he sent with it. It says, broke on the bottom of the steering box, but it doesn't seem I can find anything on how to disassemble the bottom or replace it, or how to adjust the circular pieces attached to the wires so the switch works properly.
Oh, well, that's part of the wiring harness. And if that's broken, you're going to be buying a wiring harness. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you do a video on how to install a wiring harness?
I've done 2 videos on that.
2 videos. I will put them up here so you know what they look like.
The Operation Hooptie one, I think, is the best one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll put the link right there, what it looks like on YouTube. And down and below in the descriptions, I will put a link to get to it easier.
Yeah, I think that's the best one.
Yeah. So check it out. I hope that helps you get through your problems, Taylor.
Hope so. Good luck, Taylor.
That would be amazing. Hi, Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
It says, hey, Paul or Model T, my name is Leanne Johnson. We have 4 Model A's. Was wondering if you have, or we'll do a video on how to wire up an Auga horn on a 6-volt car. It had a relay on it when we got the car, but the horn doesn't work. Any help would be greatly appreciated.
Someone added that.
So again, the Auga horns are wanting to be heard.
That's not a horn issue. That's a wiring issue. Somebody modified your wiring.
Oh.
Yeah. So what happens sometimes is people build up resistance in the horn switch or the horn rod or somewhere in there, and rather than fix it, they add a relay so that the horn rod just closes the relay, then the relay provides full voltage to the horn. I'm not going to show that in a video. I'm not going to teach people how to do that. That's wrong. Fix your car. That's the right way. Yeah, fix the car. Fix the horn rod. The horn itself could be loose connection, could be that it's adjusted too tight. There's lots of things that can affect why the horn. If you put 6 volts on the horn, does it work? That's kind of where I start. And if the horn works with the 6 volts on it, then I go, okay, so it's something either in the wire or in the horn rod or this button. Then usually you find it pretty quick. And it's real easy to fix. It's easier to fix a horn rod than it is to install a relay and all the wiring. I don't know why people do that all the time. I don't know.
That's funny. Maybe they're just like, want to just do stuff.
I don't know. Sometimes.
I get to play on the Model A.
It's like people, if their front ends wore out, and then they put 16-inch wheels and radial tires on it. Oh, it steers so much better. Why don't you just fix the car? I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're going to make this the last one for the evening.
Okay.
Because we're definitely going to do this in a part 2 series. So if I sent you a message saying that I'm going to be putting you in the Q&A for the social media today, we're just having to split these up because there's just way too many questions.
Cool.
So if you don't see yours on this one today, it just means that you're going to see it next Wednesday. Yay! So you're still going to be there. It's just one more week. So we're going to end here with Scott.
Hi, Scott.
He says, hello, Paul. Hope all is well with you and your gang. I'm kicking back and forth what tires to buy for my 31 CCU, or
Closed cab pickup.
Yeah, closed cab pickup. Bias or radials. What is your opinion on this? Do you prefer any particular brand? I will be using my truck on local tours and to and from car shows. I'm going with the WW look. World War?
White walls.
Oh, white walls. Look.
He's not raging war or whatever.
No. Looking forward to your advice. And he's in Texas.
Oh, we love Texas.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I had fun over there.
Shout out to Rudy and Jacob also.
Yay!
So I would not go with radials. I don't know. It's just me. So I've done both. Radials are crazy expensive. I'm assuming you're going to get the regular Model A size radials. You're not talking about going to 16-inch wheels or whatever. So as I go forward with this answer, I'm assuming that. So the radials are crazy expensive. And as far as ride difference, yeah, there's a little bit of difference. A little bit, not a lot. As far as brands go, I used to be like, oh, Firestone or Goodyears, I don't really care, one or the other. Of all the different brands out there, those were my two favorite. Now I'm really in Camp Goodyear. The last couple sets of Goodyear tires I bought, I've been very impressed with the Goodyears. Well, this car has Firestones on it. They handle differently. Yeah, these are Firestones right here. So the Firestones have these ridges around the edge, which are kind of cool. So the difference is these tires on the highway, I mean, neither one of them wanders unless the car is out. But what I liked about these was the cornering on these, especially on the heavier cars. So these seem to just grip better in corners. This car, you and I have almost been hit, I don't know how many times, but we've avoided it by taking evasive maneuvers. And thankfully, these tires grip really well on corners. Now,
otherwise I would have been T-boned.
We would have been T-boned on her door one time. But we avoided it completely because remember, I mean, we just like, it was like race car time.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Firestones that, however, I've become a little slightly bigger fan of the Goodyears. They don't quite corner as well as the Firestones, but for whatever reason, the Goodyears seem to last longer. I don't know why. I'm assuming the rubber's the same compound. I'm assuming, I don't know. But it just seems like for the miles that we put on our cars, the Goodyears just seem to hold up a little bit longer.
Interesting.
So I'm just putting Goodyears on everything now, if I can get them. I mean, right now, I mean, the big dreaded C word has turned us into a third world country. We can't get anything practically. But if they're available, when they are, snag them, for sure. But stay away from the cheapy ones. Man, we've bought the cheapy tires way in the past. The one, I forget if they were made in Vietnam or something, whatever it was.
Get what you pay for.
And man, they were horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. Remember, how many did we go through on the way? Oh, gosh. No.
It was not worth the money
No,
paid.
they're not.
Yeah.
Firestones are Goodyears, and Goodyears by that much more if you have a choice.
Okay.
Okay,
Right
part
on.
2.
Part 2 coming your way next Wednesday. And until then, you guys stay well, stay safe, and what?
Catch you on the next video.
Yeah, catch you on the next video.
Whee!
Take care, you guys. Mwah. Woo, love you guys.
And fade to black.